Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We are playing A Ship in a Storm. We are at round 6 currently, and we are going to get right into it and do our best to continue to survive. Now, in the last video here, I guess we've got ourselves in a little bit of a jam here because now we've actually got some enemies on the board who haven't been killed off. So things are going to start to pile up on us. We know that this one right here, which is the Wind Demon, is sitting there and he's got one hit against him. But what my plan is, strategy-wise, is to actually have Drail focus her attention on this enemy the entire time. I don't want this enemy to disappear, and the reason being is that as soon as it disappears, Drail's going to head for Barty, and that's going to be a way in which we lose the game. Is if Drail starts pounding on Barty too bad, we're going to end up having to just discard cards from our hands of either character in order to avoid that damage being put on onto Barty, and that's bad because once one of those guys goes down, we lose the scenario. So as of right now, Drail has 3 hit points, or damage I should say, on herself, and she has a total of 10. So we have 7 left before she goes down. We can also try to heal her as well. So we're going to get right into this round here and do as much as we can. So again, we're going to go ahead with our 2 cards each. Now, the most logical attack would probably be focusing our kind of attention at this guy, and also maybe healing Drail. Now, the Cragheart's close enough within 2 to actually heal. So if we had a range 2 heal, it would be a really good time to use it. And we do. We have right here 38, which is range 2 heal. So I'm going to keep this card. We're going to put that heal on Drail because I believe she's going to need it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to generate some type of attack to be able to go after this guy. Now, this guy has 10 HP, but we have 2 hits against currently, so we just need 8 more damage, but we still need a generally fairly strong attack in order to take this guy down. Now, if I'm going to use the bottom for heal 2, maybe I can use the top for heal 3 and immobilize. That's actually not a bad combo, so we do that together. That's a pretty strong attack for the Cragheart starting at 35. So the Tinker, who's adjacent to the Lurker, now that's okay if we want to do a melee attack, but we would be disadvantaged if we do range. If we're going to immobilize this character and not allow him to move, this might be a good time for that target 2 reviving shock shot that we used in a prior round, which again lets us kind of target not only this guy, but someone we know is going to spawn at another point here. At the beginning of this round, we are in the 6th round, a new enemy is going to spawn somewhere, and this will allow us to shoot it 3 away. Now, the only downside to this is if it's not within distance to us, it's of no use right now. So maybe this is a bad time to use this one. So we could maybe think to use something like maybe this, where you use a Toxic Bolt and we poison him. Might be a little bit better. That way we can boost the attack that the Cragheart gives him. So we'll go ahead with something like that. Attack 2, range 3. We're going to have to generate some movement to get away from him so that we're not disadvantaged. In order to do that, probably the best thing to do is to not burn a card that has crazy heavy. Actually, this one's really good. Move 2 and a heal 1 for all adjacent allies. So that actually gets us going really early in the round in both counts. So that's pretty good. So let's do that. 17, 35, and again, we have to pull cards for every single enemy on the board, regardless of whether they're there or not. So 37, and because this is the even round, we're on round number 6, we are looking for, if I remember correctly, on even rounds, it's the lowest initiative. So far the Lurker is winning, and Lurker wins out again. So it means we have another Lurker that's going to show up right here. Now, it doesn't show up on the same spawn tile. It shows up on one adjacent because the rules state if this spot is filled, we just pick one adjacent. So obviously with the Tinker, I'm not going to really want to have him be directly beside me, so I'll put him here. But let me think about that for a second, because we know that when we move to, we'll be here. Yeah, so we want to move here to heal him and not. So this is perfect. I'll spawn him here, and we'll be happy with that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and we know that there are no Frost Demons in play. So I'm just going to turn this sideways to remind us that we don't have to worry about the Frost Demons. But we'll go ahead with the Tinker first. So the Tinker is going to do what the Tinker needs to do, and that is move 2, heal 1. So we're going to have the Tinker move to here. Oh, and sorry, there's one special effect that happens with the Lurkers, and that's that everyone is pushed 1 away from the Lurkers, not Barty. So that means that this now essentially Drail has to be pushed further away from the Lurker that just spawned. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I put him here, that's 5. Here it's 6. So he has to be pushed here. So that's too bad. So again, we really need to make sure that this Wind Demon stays alive to keep Drell from getting too close. Or we're going to have to run over here maybe with the Cragheart and drop an obstacle to maybe block Drell from being able to go that way and have to take the long way around. That may be a good strategic choice as well. So everyone gets pushed back one. So the Cragheart would go here, the Tinkerer gets bumped to here. So essentially what would happen now is, now I would go ahead with my movement and I'd move. So sorry, just because that happens first. When the Lurker comes on the board, its special scenario effect is it pushes everyone one away from itself. So we've done that now. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my move 2 and heal 1. Move to here, which is I'm going to allow myself to heal the Cragheart who's adjacent. And this card is now discarded. So used well. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the attack 2, range 3, and we're going to poison. So we're going to be going after this guy here. It's great because it's not anything that's going to be disadvantaged. We're going after number 1 again, and we'll see what we pull. Yikes, not what we want to see. So that's a straight miss, but the good thing is that we picked something that had in a negative condition with it, and that's good because that's going to place a negative poison effect on this monster. So when we go ahead to attack him with the Cragheart, at least we'll get a benefit. So there was something that came out of that. We also get to bump the leaf element back to the strong column, which I don't know if that'll help us or not, but we'll find out really quickly. And that's it for the Tinker. So now the next up individual would be, looks like it's going to be the Lurker. And it's going to be both Lurkers actually. So this is bad. So the Lurkers in both cases are going to shield up. They're both going to gain a shield. They're both going to try to move. Now these are not ranged characters. They're going to move, and their movement is 3. So we'll move the first one 3. It's going to be heading towards the Tinkerer. So it's going to be going to about here. It's going to stop. This guy here can move 3. But the great thing is the obstacles are protecting the Tinkerer, and this guy can't get to this particular guy without going around. So 1, 2, 3. So he's here and won't be able to actually do any attacks, which is just, I'm kind of happy that those crates or this barrel was here to stop him from getting any closer. So we used all the full movement of 3 on him, and then of course there's only one Lurker that can attack, and it's this guy because he's melee. He's going to attack my Tinkerer who's behind him, and he's attacking with a -1. His regular attack is 3, so it's going to be 2 to come through, and we'll see what happens. Ew, that's not the kind of card you want to pull. And we don't have the iron helmet on our head right now, so these times-2s do actually go through onto the Tinkerer, so that's nasty. So that's 4 damage. Now that's really bad because the Tinkerer can take that hit, but that is a really nasty hit, and I don't want to lose any cards just yet. So I'm going to take the hit, which is I really don't want to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then that's going to resolve all of the Lurkers. Now the Lurkers also have an ability here of moving up the frost. So now we've got the frost element going into the strong column. They're infusing the area with frost, and the Lurker's turn is done. Next in the initiative order is going to be the Cragheart at 35. So the Cragheart's going to go now. He's a little angry that his friend got hurt. Now he's got a heal 2, range 3, and the good thing he's still within 3 range of Drell. So at this point we are going to go ahead, and this is the question, do I heal Drell or do I heal the Tinkerer? Now the Tinkerer's got a lot of heal cards that likely can heal. Let me see here. Can I heal myself? Yeah, I got a couple good ones, but I have to discard. This one I could use on myself for heal 2 next turn. And the Cragheart's got a couple heals. So I'm going to use this one on Drell because it's just convenient that I'm 3 away. It's a good time to do it. So I'm going to take 2 damage off of Drell. We're healing that character, and now this bottom ability gets discarded. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to do our attack 3, immobilize. Oh, shoot, I just realized that I have to be... and I just realized another thing too. This is even worse. The Lurker actually targets 2 people. Oh, good. They're not adjacent. The Lurker does target 2 people, but they're not adjacent to both of us, so luckily we didn't have to deal with that. For the Cragheart, though, the Cragheart has to be adjacent in order to do this attack. So I didn't think of that, and I thought it was ranged. In order to do anything substantial to this guy, we're going to have to get closer to him. Now, he doesn't have Retaliate, so that might not be a bad idea, and it actually might protect the Tinkerer a bit. So I might have to change my plan up and actually not heal Drell, which is really too bad because I kind of wanted to. There's nothing really I can do. So I'm going to put that back. I'm going to choose to use this bottom one instead for 2 movement. I'm going to generate it to go here. And so now we're all kind of clumped up, if you guys can see that all right. And then we're going to go ahead and do the attack 3 immobilize, which really doesn't matter all as much anymore, which is kind of too bad. So this attack 3 here is going to be going against the number 1 lurker, which is poison. So the attack 3 becomes 4. And we're going against that lurker. There's no shields to be wary of. And there's no way we can boost it because our Eagle Eye Goggles are still down and out. So we'll flip this over. Nice, so we got 5. So we got 5 full damage coming through, which isn't enough to kill it, but is a solid hit. So we've got 7 damage on that lurker now, but again, not enough to take it out, sadly. And again, infuse the leaf element, which would get pushed to the strongest column, which is fine. So now these 2 are done. So that actually didn't really work out as well as we wanted. And you know what? Oh, you know what? Oh, should I? You know what? This is what I'm going to use in the next turn. I could have used it now, but I've already revealed cards, and I don't like playing like that. I've already revealed attack cards, but I'm on the next turn. I'm going to keep these guys. These guys are going to stay bunched up. I'm going to use bombs, and we're going to bomb, and hopefully we get really lucky. We'll get another lurker, and they'll all jam up over here, and we're going to bomb all of them at once. And maybe we can use both bombs from both characters to really do some damage. So that's the end of the Craghart's turn. Now the only 2 people left are Drail in the back here and the Wind Demon. Now the Wind Demon gets to go first, and looks like it has some insane AoE attacks to do, none of which look pleasant. So the first one looks like it only occurs, and this one, if I'm understanding correctly, is a Wind Demon's really nasty attack. If there's wind element in the area, which there isn't, thankfully, there's only the frost and the leaf, then he would have done this bottom ability here, which is a crazy cycle wind, would have hit a whole bunch of stuff in there, but it really would have just affected Drill. But we don't care about this because we don't have the wind elements. We always go first on the top and then the bottom action. So the top one says move. Well, he doesn't need to move. He's already focused on Drill. Drill's right in front of him. So he's going to attack Drill. And thankfully, the only areas he's going to attack is going to be this, this, and this. So he misses Barty, so that's good. And now it's bad if he gets the wind up because he could hit Barty as well on that second attack. And essentially, or if I'm understanding this correctly, sorry, that's an improvement to his attack. And so essentially, if the wind is up, he would get a +1 to this attack, and his area of attack would actually increase. So that's essentially what's happening, sorry, with that card, not what I'd said originally. So it's even nastier. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move. He's not moving, so that's wonderful. We know his attack is a 3 because he's a regular Wind Demon. He doesn't get the advantage of the +1. Drail's not hurt in any way. So it's going to be a 3 attack against Drail, which is bad because that's a relatively high attack. And it's a +1. Ouch. So it's 4. So now Drail has 4 extra damage. No, this is where, I guess this is where people were telling me I can go ahead, and I knew this from the scenarios, that I can lose a card in order to keep Drail from getting hurt. And I think this is a good time to do it because 4 is a pretty nasty hit. So if it was lower, I would maybe be okay with it, but that's pretty harsh. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh man, losing cards sucks. Or maybe I let him take that damage. If I let him take that damage, he's down to 4, 5, 6, he'd be down to 3. You know what? I'm going to let him take the damage. I would rather try to see if I can survive by healing him, luckily, because I can potentially stay within range enough to do healing from distance, I hope. As long as more lurkers don't come out and keep pushing us, Drill's going to end up like over here in the candlestick, and we're going to end up in the bookshelf if this continues, but the pushing with the lurkers. So now Drill has 7 total damage, which is really nasty. And I know, guys, I could have taken a card in order to avoid that, but I'm choosing not to because of the fact I can choose to lose a card at any point in time. So what I'm really trying to do is maximize the amount of damage that Drill can take. So I'm going to go all the way up to 9 if I can, and then I'll just start bleeding cards into my hand, essentially. Or any time that it would push me over, of course, 10, I would take a card. So that's my plan, at least. We'll see if that pans out. That essentially is it for the Wind Demon, so that was a wonderful, nasty surprise. And now Drill gets to go. So Drill has a move, an attack 3, so the focus is on the Wind Demon, so it's going to be an attack of 3. He uses the, or she uses, sorry, the monster modifier deck in order to attack, so it's going to be the attack 3. We're going to go ahead and flip this over. It's a +2. Wow, so that's a pretty powerful attack. That actually will end up getting, the 2 will help get past the Wind Demon's shield of 2. So then the actual attack of 3 she has actually gets through. Doesn't kill it though. So again, very, very close. You need 5 in order to kill the Wind Demon, and that is 4. So close, but not enough. All right, and that's essentially it. That is the run of the round for this particular, so this will be round 6. So we're gonna go ahead and wane things down. We're not gonna short rest on either case because both guys got cards and we're good to go that way. In terms of volatile bombs, in the next situation, if we get more, actually, regardless, I think I'm gonna need to bomb these guys at the end of the day. We'll not only be able to kill this one for sure, I think, being that it's very close to death already at 7, but we also get to hit the number 2. And that wouldn't be a bad thing either. And this one's still poison, so that's good news too. We also have to remember the Tinker's getting low on health, so that's something to be concerned about. So that's going to be something we're going to need to focus on. He's kind of hiding back here if you guys can't see him. So in other words, short rest, elemental, and shuffling of cards. So shuffling of cards, tons of shuffling things to do. We got some ×2s over here in this deck. We've got a null right here. We got these attack cards to shuffle. So I'm going to do that all off camera in between, and we'll be all set to go for what is now going to be, in the next video, the 7th round. Okay, we'll be starting the beginning of the 7th round in the next one, and we'll be all raring to go. We're doing okay. This means we are more than halfway because we have officially finished the 6th round. We need to finish we need to keep Drail and Barty alive till the end of the 12th. So we've officially passed the halfway mark, and things are looking okay. And we haven't lost many cards out of our hand. We've only lost 1 card from the Tinker and 1 card from the Cry card. So we're looking all right. So guys, if you like what you see, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because you can join in on the party as we try to tackle this insane scenario where everyone hates each other and wants to just beat each other up, and all we're trying to do is be the peacemakers. So we're doing our best here, and we'll see how this pans out. But I thank you guys for watching, and until next time, keep rolling solo.